What's up, sports world, man? I want to take Zaya, man. This is the WTP Sports Dudes podcast. I'm here with Robert at WTP for Life. How you doing, Rob?
I'm good, bro. I'm glad to be here this morning on this Sunday, man. The time change has not affected me one bit. I'm still geeked. I'm still happy. I'm ready to do this. Let's go.
I know you went to sleep a little earlier. What's up, Sean? Hey, we got SEC Sean in the building. How you doing, man?
Well, the time change got me, but I'm I'm too stubborn to let the time change affect what I'm going to do for fun. It was a long night of basketball last night.
Nah, facts. Where it was a whole man. Listen, I was at the barn damn near all day yesterday. I don't know how I did that. I almost fell asleep in them bleachers. Hey, but y'all know what it is, man. We got all the channels down there scrolling at the bottom, man. It don't cost you a thing to subscribe, man. It helps out the channel, man. Just follow everybody down there, or just pick your favorite one and follow. We don't care. Just hit the like button and the subscribe button. Uh, let's get right into it, fellas, man. We got women's conference championship weekend going on. So it's a lot going on right now. We had Texas last night. They handled Ole Miss, and South Carolina squeaking past LSU. Now the conference game is for the SEC is set. Now we're gonna have a matchup between Texas and South Carolina. Who y'all got, and do y'all got any thoughts? Did y'all catch any of them games last night? Y'all can put y'all 2 cents in about those games as well.
I'm gonna take South Carolina. Texas is really good. Um, I don't know. I mean, South Carolina has been the dominant factor in the SEC for years now. It'll be a good game. It's going to be a really, really close game, I believe. But um, I like South Carolina over Texas in this one.
Man, this game is going to be one of those games where if Texas cannot knock down threes and they cannot play with athleticism to keep and match the South Carolina team, it's going to be a close one, but they're going to probably end up losing. They got to make sure they get Maddie Booker off quickly, early, give her touches. They got to slow the pace of the game down to the point where they could make South Carolina play a half-court style of play. Don't let them get up and down the court, and they can be in it. I think the biggest key for Texas in this game, outside of Maddie Booker getting off, is Rory Harmon has got to be able to play good, solid defense on Floje Johnson. Is that her name?
Flage, yeah.
Flage. She got to play good, solid defense on her. She got to stay in front of her. She got to make it difficult. And Bria Preston got to come in and spell Harmon at times and do the same thing. They got to be able to keep Johnson from doing whatever she wants to do. And they got to keep that other young lady off the boards because she killed them the last time they played. She was getting a bunch of offensive rebounds and just out hustling Texas all day. But if Texas can do that and make this a half-court game, they could be in it down the stretch and possibly win it. I think South Carolina is going to win this game over my Texas Lady Horns, but I think it's going to be a really, really good matchup. And Texas can win it, though, but they got to do those things in order to be able to be in this game.
Man, listen, man. I don't see Texas being able to hang with South Carolina. Not by the way the South Carolina's front court played yesterday. The girl Joyce, I think she damn near had a double double. The other girl, the big girl, she had a double double. I think she averaged a double double on the year. So, and just like with Raven Johnson, man, just been a squeaky clean point guard like that, man. They gonna be tough for anybody. I think that's the one team that I could see actually getting the UConn girls. Just because I just think their whole first five It's just balanced. It's just all the way balanced to me. All right, we had over in the Big Ten, UCLA. They handled Iowa, and UCLA and Iowa handled Ohio State and Michigan respectfully to set up a showdown for the Big Ten championship. Who you got?
Well, I was going to let Robert jump on that one, but I'll jump in. I'm going to go UCLA. I saw a thing last night. I didn't watch any of the women's games, of course, but I did see a thing scrolling across that UCLA's on like a 24-game winning streak. So, momentum's with them, but, Iowa. Iowa's been good. Always been. But Iowa's just like their football team. They're just one of those teams. They're just right there. They're just so. But I'm gonna go UCLA. I think they get their 25th in a row. So that's where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm taking UCLA as well. I don't think they've lost a game since they lost to Texas early in the season, early in the season, and they've been on a heater since. I don't think that Iowa's going to have enough. They got the big girl in the middle for UCLA that's been playing really good basketball, along with the other players around her. I don't think that this UCLA team will even make this game close against Iowa. They're going to thump them pretty easily. I'm taking UCLA in a blowout.
Yeah, I got UCLA, man. Their size. It's so difficult matching up with their size, man. They got both of the best sisters. They got solid guard play over there. I don't. I mean, Iowa. There's definitely a good program. Caitlin Clark put them on the map for sure, but I just don't see enough high end talent over there to get through the size and talent of UCLA. Nevertheless, if my Ohio State girls, bro, if we had a little more size, bro, we would have beat them yesterday. We ain't got no size to match up with some of these big teams out here in college basketball, in women's college basketball, man. But we lost my McMahon. I think she went to South. Where'd she go? No, not South Carolina. She went somewhere. Oh, is it? It might be. She might play. No, she don't play for South Carolina. She went to the SEC, I think, though, somewhere. But we letting people out of the state too, man, like Barry Wallace and girls like that, man. We got to stop letting some of these girls out though that can really ball. All right, we got the Duke Blue Devils beating Notre Dame yesterday with 2 late free throws to advance to the ACC championship, setting up a matchup against Louisville, who pulled away late against North Carolina. Who you got? Where post game and MG at, man? It's both y'all squads.
Right. I'm taking Duke in this game. I think that Duke is going to be the team that represents this ACC conference in women's basketball and probably go the furthest in the tournament. This Louisville team is good as well. They got some talent, but I really feel like Duke is just playing much better basketball right now, 1-5, 1-8, than maybe what Louisville is playing right now. So I'm going with this Duke team who has a lot of experience, and they've been playing some really, really good basketball, especially in conference play.
Yeah, I'm going with Duke. Louisville's had a really good program for a while themselves, but the way Duke battled with Notre Dame, I know post game's girl Hidalgo over there. I like Duke in this game. Again, this is another one I see coming down to the wire, but I'm gonna go with Duke.
Yeah, man. I'm on Louisville, man. I think they could pull this upset, man. They got monster guard play at Louisville, so I don't know that. Women's usually the higher seed usually wins. You don't really see that many upsets, man. But we got to get one, right? Is one too much to ask for? Let's just get one. I think this is the closest one we got to it. So I'm going Louisville. I was not able to catch neither one of them games either, though, yesterday. Y'all know it was a very eventful sports day yesterday. Hey, let's move over to men's college hoops. Uh, Question that's not on here. I ain't got it in the chat, but AJ DeBansa and BYU was able to pull off a big win last night against Texas Tech. Do y'all think that win solidified them a bid to the March Madness tournament?
I think it does. We've been waiting for that BYU team and AJ to get a good win. Did Texas Tech sort of maybe hand it to them? Probably so. No one I don't think expected the Texas Tech team, as scrappy as they've been all season, to lose to BYU, who is minus a key player, but they lost yesterday. And I think that this BYU team, having a star player like AJ, will probably sway the committee to allow them to get in at 21-10.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, you said it right there. BYU's down a player, but Texas Tech's down probably their best player. But nonetheless, I mentioned it yesterday when we was talking about different things of getting in, and I said if they beat Tech, they're probably in. So I think this pretty much locks BYU in. Having AJ, a top 2 draft pick, sure doesn't hurt to get into the tournament either, but I think with the win over Tech, they pretty much solidified themselves.
Yeah, I think this is the win that gives them an excuse to put AJ into the tournament. So I'm actually happy they won this game last night, because March Madness is not March Madness when you don't have your best players in it. So I'm super excited that AJ and BYU was able to get that dub, because we've seen multiple times where one player gets on a heater so much that he can carry his team through March Madness. And I think AJ is that type of talent, and I would love to see him hoop in the March Madness. It just wouldn't be right.
Yeah, and they'll probably get a first round matchup where the game will be a really, really tight game, but then you'll get to see the star step out there and will his team to a win, man, by taking over the game down the stretch. And that's what you want to see during March Madness, is star players having the opportunity to show why they're stars.
Right.
And don't be surprised if they lose first round or whatever in the tournament, the conference tournament. Don't be surprised if they're not in the play-in.
What seeds are the play-in again? I can't remember.
It changes. Not from year to year, but typically it's an 11. There's 2 11 seeds. So 2 people play for 2 11 seeds. And then there's normally, I want to say it's a 6.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head. I wasn't sure though. I thought it was 2 11s and 2 6s.
We keep moving, and I'm going to look it up real quick because Lenardi has it out there on Bracketology.
Okay.
I'll come back and then verify that.
They might be 9s. They might be 9s, though.
I think 9s are too low. I think it's 11, and there's something higher, like a 6, 7. But we'll go verify that real quick for everybody that's tuning in that has the same question, and we'll get back to them.
Yeah. Hey, yesterday, man, Darius Acuff sat. Arkansas was still able to get a dub. Are y'all impressed with Arkansas and them being able to win without their best player? He sat for rest, and they pulled out a win against Missouri, 88-84. Was that impressive, or does it really not matter?
No, I think they got enough players on that Arkansas team to beat a team like Missouri. Kudos to them for being able to have a game at the end of the season where they can rest a player like him, so that he could get some rest going into the SEC tournament, and then to get ready for the big tournament, the round of 64 or 68, however you want to look at it. But I think that Arkansas team has enough good players on it that they didn't necessarily need him to beat Missouri. Even though Missouri will give you a game, as you can see, it was close, 88-84. But I think that this Arkansas team can really be tough in this tournament if they can make sure that they play good, solid defense and they can knock down their shots from the perimeter.
Yeah, I mean, to jump back on real quick, you're going to have it's actually there's one team, there's a game for an 11 seed and a game for a 16.
Yeah.
And right now, the poor team, the way it looks, the poor team that gets that 16 seed out of that first 4 playing game plays Florida in the first round. So that's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, it might be Miami of Ohio.
Right now, just for curiosity's sake, the last 4, the teams to make the play-in tournament is Santa Clara, SMU, VCU, and Auburn, I believe. No, hold on, let me go back and look. That's a mistake. That's the last 4 he's got in. He had UMBC in Long Island, and I know it was Auburn and somebody. It was for the 11 seed was Auburn. And now I can't find it anymore. There it is, VCU and Auburn playing in the play-in. So those are the 4 he's got in the play-in game. Looking at his bracketology, there's some pretty interesting matchups that we can get into next week later on. But
Lenardi been going in forever. He the GOAT at that, bro.
Dude, his first round matchup, just to throw it out there because they're my team, is he's got BYU and A&M in the first round. He got BYU as a 7.
Oh.
But that so you know them 7 seeds, I think 7, 8, and 9, they're like chess pieces.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like okay, they're in the tournament, but they like maybe 50 through 68 ranked teams in the tournament. So you gotta slot them somewhere.
Now I'm gonna be crazy while I was looking that up. What was the previous question we were talking about?
Oh, we was talking about Arkansas and were you impressed with Darius Acuff sitting and them still being able to get a win, or does it really not matter?
I mean, it was important, I think, for Arkansas to know they could do it because all the talk's been they go as Acuff goes. They've got so much talent on that. The athleticism, that's probably one of the most athletic teams in the whole country. They got guys everywhere. But, to sit him, you want him prepped and healthy. It just gives him a few extra days because they've got the double bye in the SEC tournament locked in. They were already locked into that. So even if they would have lost to Missouri, it wouldn't have affected them as far as seeding for the SEC tournament. So we're pretty good with what it looked like. But it was pretty impressive to see. Missouri's a pretty scrappy little team too. That's a team you need to watch.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I kind of was impressed because I think that was a really good culture move because going into conference championship week, I think you're giving other guys confidence. And once you get Acuff back, if you can get them guys to stay on the level of confidence that they just played with last night, and we know what Acuff can do, and we always know that Cal always has good guard play, but he got athletes too surrounding those guards. I think Arkansas really is a sleeper team in this March Madness bracket that can really make a run. All right, we got number 4 UConn. They fell to Marquette on the road. What's your thoughts? And does this loss guarantee that they won't be a number 1 seed? And while we're on this topic, we can also touch bases on Danley Hurley being ejected from the game for bumping the ref. Do you think that was justified or not? Or what was your thoughts on that as well?
Well, I mentioned yesterday that you mentioned yesterday, sorry, I don't want to steal your thunder, but you had mentioned that UConn had the worst loss. Well, they went out and topped that worst loss with an even worse loss. So I don't see any way. Did this lose them the number 1 seed? Only way I see it, them getting the 1 seed now, is Florida has to lose in their first game in the SEC tournament, and they have to win the Big East. And even then, I don't think it's enough. I think Florida has got everybody on notice, and I think everybody's watching what they're doing with that front line, and the guard play has come on huge in the second half of the season. him getting ejected, I mean, that's the rule. Was it right? I mean, make your own case for that. But the rule is you make contact with a ref, you're ejected. I didn't know that it was crazy enough to be an ejection. But again, the rule is the rule. I'll go back to a game a couple of years ago down in Texas A&M at College Station when Kentucky played A&M. And one of the Kentucky players got mad late in the game and spiked the ball, but caught it. And the ref teed him up and gave A&M the ball and the thing, and A&M wound up winning the game by like 2. Kind of controversial, but, the rules are the rules. You got to stick with them.
Yeah, there was a time during this season, man, where I felt like UConn would be one of those number 1 seeds, and then they sort of started playing a little bit below their standard. And in this game, they did that as well. This was a golden opportunity for UConn to let the committee know, listen, we deserve to get that last number 1 seed. You cannot go out and not beat Marquette in this game. And Marquette, I believe, led maybe from start to finish in this game, even though UConn made some runs and made it close during spurts where they got it, under 5, I believe it was. You can't lose this game. And I know the frustration that the coach was having with maybe some of the refereeing that was taking place. But in a game like this, on the road, I believe it was, you got to expect that, man. You got to expect that the other team is going to come out and play hard. They're going to try to do everything they can to defeat you. You're the best team in the conference. You got the bullseye on your back. The coach in that situation, even though there are times when you got to do something to get your team to know that you got their back, you can't be bumping referees. You don't even have to get that close to him to let him know how you feel about however they're refereeing that game. But I'm putting this on the players because you knew what was at stake. You know that. I know you had to hear the buzz that Florida might get that last number 1 seed. You just can't go out there and lay a goose egg like that and be flat. You got to go out there and seize the moment and take that game. And they didn't do that. Marquette pulled off that win. I believe that the coach should have gotten ejected from that game because, according to the rule, you can't bump the referee. And he's talking like he didn't bump the referee. But sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't know how far overboard you've gone. So he should have got ejected out of that game. But he got to make better decisions going forward.
Yeah, nah, Rob. They ejected him from the game, but it was at the end of the game anyway when it happened. Yeah. So it was just like whatever. But like after seeing this, what do y'all think UConn's ceiling is? Like, do y'all think they can make it to a Final Four?
I don't.
So. I mean,
I don't think they can make it to the Final Four. I don't.
Go ahead with your thoughts as to no, and I'll go with mine.
Yeah, I feel like they've had some instances this season where they haven't played well, and we know in a tournament that can creep back in there again, man. And we've seen it happen many, many times where a team just isn't functioning on all cylinders. Now, we also seen a UConn team that probably shouldn't have won the national title get on a heater and win it. I think maybe twice here in the last maybe 5 or 6 years. But this team, I don't think it is built like that. I think they got some things in the back of their mind that let them know that we might not be able to compete at a high level. And then when you think about Duke, Arizona, Florida, and a couple of other teams that are in this tournament, man, that could possibly give UConn some issues, I don't think they make the Final Four. Make the Elite Eight, they can definitely do that. Definitely the Sweet 16, but I don't think they make the Final Four.
I think they can. I think it's just going to have to be the right matchups all the way through for them to get there. they're going to have whatever bracket they're in as a 2 seed. They're probably going to have that 1 seed get upset along the way. And even then, whoever beats the 1 seed is going to be a really good team too. So, but I think they can. I don't expect it. I'm more on Rob's case. I see more of a Sweet 16, Elite 8 maybe, second weekend type team. But, it's March, and they call it madness for a reason. So Kentucky's proven that they can go on run. I'm sorry, Connecticut has proven they've gone on runs in this tournament. They just seem to find it. Hurley's flipped the switch a couple, 2 years in a row they won it, I believe, right? So we'll see. One thing back to the coach thing real quick, before we move on or whatever. Y'all notice coaches don't seem to know where they are?
They don't care. It ain't that they don't
know. The other night, I'm sitting here watching the A&M Kentucky game. Kentucky's guy comes in and shoots a 3, misses, but he stumbles back after he lands and steps on his coach's foot and rolls his ankle. I'm like, Coach, you got to be out of the way, man. Coaches are all over the floor, man.
And I think that's what they rely on their assistants for, to make sure that they stay in that box. Because, once you get in the heat of that moment and you out there, you passionately coaching, you ain't thinking about where you at court. You ready to go anywhere. So they need an assistant coach or somebody to make sure, hey, coach, you got to stay in that box, something to that nature, man, to make sure that the coach ain't all over the place. Because I'm quite sure if any of us was coaching in the heat of the moment, all the enthusiasm of the game, and you passionate about what you're doing, you'll be all over that court, baby. I know for sure I'll probably be at half court half the time, out there coaching.
Go watch Buzz Williams. That dude's everywhere. But yeah, you need a get back coach like they have in football, for sure.
Yeah, I don't see UConn making it to. I don't even think they can. Like, I just think one thing we're seeing is Dan Hurley is the best college basketball coach out there. I think that's what this is a product of, and they just do not got the horses for me this year to make it through. So, now, I low-key think if a coach comes in contact with a ref, he deserves a 1-game suspension. I think he should be suspended. That's unacceptable, bro. You can't, these guys are out here officiating the game, and you trying to strike fear in them by bumping on them, hitting them, whatever you did, or whatever physical contact you did. I just think there's no room for that in the sport. So I think he deserves at least a 1-game suspension. Next question I got for y'all, man. While we wrapping up college basketball, who is your national player of the year in men's college basketball and why?
I'm going to have to go with the Boozer kid. I feel like what he's been able to do for this Duke team, he's really been their glue, rebounding, scoring, passing. And there was a time when Duke was looking like they might have some issues in some games, and this guy just sort of like put them on his back and carried them. I know there's a lot of other really, really good players out there, but I feel like this guy has kept Duke up at the top of the rankings all season, and it's pretty much been him controlling that team and keeping them playing really good basketball all season. They won a really good matchup against Michigan a couple of weeks ago. Even though the ACC isn't as tough as the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the SEC, I think he's done what he needed to do to win this award. So I'm gonna go with Boozer out of Duke.
Yeah, that's probably the right choice. I think AJ, the way their season kind of has trailed off, has kind of hurt himself a little bit. He didn't do anything wrong, but I just, when you look at the whole picture, Patterson, whatever, from Kansas, I don't think you can give it to somebody who just checks out and misses games left and right for questionable issues. My sleeper for player of the year is coming out of Florida, and it's that Tyler Hawk or Hal or whatever that dude is. He's a sleeper pick. If Rob's going to go Boozer, I'm going to go with him just because that he is been just balling for the past couple of months. And, he sat out against Mississippi State. Call it load management if you want, but it was Mississippi State, and Florida knew they were going to trash them, and they did. So he got a little bit of a rest, but Boozer's probably the right pick. But I just threw somebody else's name out there to throw a little spice to it.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Boozer, man. But I'm sorry, bro. I gotta go Darius Acuff, bro. I got to, bro. I just don't think they will be the team that they are right now without him. They just wouldn't. I think Duke got so many talented guys that's probably not even seeing the floor that's 4 and 5 star prospects that they'll figure out a way to be relevant. And I just don't see Arkansas being relevant without Darius Acuff. So I would say when I'm weighing in on the MVP, who gives your team the most impact? Like, why are you here? You're here because you have Darius Acuff. And I don't know. I love Boozer though. Don't get it wrong. He's a walking 20 and 10 in college basketball. You're probably not going to stop him unless he get in foul trouble. And you can't go wrong with him either. I think it's a few guys that you can actually give it to that and you wouldn't be wrong about it. So shout out to Booz though, man. He's a good college basketball player. I'm still, the jury is still out on him in the NBA, bro. I'm still not a believer that he gonna pan out. He remind me too much of Tyler Hansbrough. I'm sorry, Melissa.
That's probably a pretty good comp. Seriously,
he reminds me so much of him, bro.
And Acuff, I think Acuff's going to be a monster at the next level.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at his game in comparison to how they play in the NBA, it really doesn't look like it. He's going to have to change some things about his game, in my opinion. It doesn't really translate to what you see happening in the NBA right now. But I mean, I'm quite sure he could get that skill set. It's just probably going to take him, a couple of games to figure it out what he needs to do. But I mean, you can always lean back on the fact that you can rebound the ball well, and you can always get some offensive rebounds to get you some second shots. But I tend to agree with you. One take Zaya, that what I've seen from him so far just doesn't look like it fits in the NBA style of play right now. But he can also correct that at some point.
Yes, sir. Hey, let's move over. Let's pivot to the NBA. We got about 20 games until playoff time. Who do y'all see coming out of the East and Western conferences?
I'm going in the East. I'm going Boston. I know Detroit's, on top and great, but with Tatum back and the way I don't see Boston losing the East. I've been on Oklahoma City all year, saying they probably the best of the best. You got to beat them to go. I'm pivoting to San Antonio. I think San Antonio wins the West, and I think you get a San Antonio-Boston finals.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to say Boston. Now that we see that Tatum is back and he's probably in these next 20 or so games, is probably going to really get his legs up under him, and they're going to be a really tough out. I really want to see what Joel Embiid looks like once he's back out there on the court playing like he was playing before he took this little injury time out, to see if maybe these Philadelphia 76ers can probably dethrone Boston. But if I had to pick a team, I'm going to go with Boston. But I think Detroit is going to have something to say about that too. I thought New York was going to be able to put it together, seeing that they made it last year. But they don't seem like they could get enough out of Big Cat to come out of the East. So I'm gonna go with Boston. We'll hope that Philadelphia can get this thing together and possibly beat them. Uh, but out of the West, I really like that San Antonio pick. I think that OKC started off the season really, really well. I think they sort of leveled out a little bit. They've had some injuries. They've had some people had to sit during stretches during the season. I like that San Antonio team. I think that the NBA would like for it to be San Antonio so that they can see Wembley in the final. But Denver might have something to say about that. I think that Denver team, if they could get it all together with Jokic and I think Murray and those guys, I think they could make some noise too and possibly get back to the finals. But if I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna go with the Spurs as well.
Yeah, I can't see the Spurs making it out the West. I think they not experienced enough yet. I think it's gonna take a couple more years for it to cook up. You got to go through some playoff adversity first. I just see OKC, and I got a sleeper of Houston making it out. I like this Houston team. If they have Fred Van Vliet, I think they will be a lock for the finals, damn near. But losing that point guard definitely hurt them. But I like that Reed Shepard been coming along, man. They got a lot of length on that team too. That's one of the biggest teams in the NBA. In the East, I think we all in agreement. Boston. I do think Detroit is not going to be an easy out, but we kind of got the blueprint on Detroit now. You put all your resources in to stopping Cade, you can win. You know, so uh, and that's where I think that's as far as the bunch go in the East. Actually, right now, with the emergence of Jason Tatum coming back, I don't think New York, Cleveland, or the Sixers or anybody else got anything for neither one of them teams out East. I really don't. Um, but hey, we done seen crazier things happen. People keep on talking a lot of noise about this Cleveland team and James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. Man, James Harden will blow it like he always does. I want to tell y'all that. Okay.
Facts.
So I have no worries about Cleveland. Um, and that's where I'm at with it, man. Listen, this the thing though, and I want to say this respectfully to everybody that is in the NBA. The Spurs do got an alien on their team. You know, Wembanyama is unreal, bro. Hey, I said he was the best player in the NBA this year. I was moving a little too fast. He right there though, but next year, as long as he come back and keep on working on his game the way he has been and take care of his body and all that, woo, 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 I'm telling you, next year it's not even gonna be close because now he's starting to find his spots on the floor, and that's just gonna be different, man.
It international players that are superstars, it takes a year or two, maybe year three, before they really figure out the NBA game because it's so much different than the international game. Go back to Dirk. Dirk was good, and then Dirk started making a name for himself. I think the Spurs are really good. I mean, plus, if it does come to them in OKC, you got to remember they're 4-1 versus OKC this year. They've dominated.
Maybe 3-1. You don't play nobody 5 times.
No, you do in the West.
You play them 4. You play everybody
4-1.
And if you in the West, you play everybody 4 times. If you in the West and you play the East, you play everybody twice.
So that's 4-1 right there.
That what are you looking at?
ESPN.
Yeah, they got errors on there too. I'm trying to tell you. I know how the NBA schedule broke down. You hear me? Hey, matter of fact, you play everybody in the West 3 times and everybody in your division 4 times. That's how the breakdown is.
That's fine. Yeah, ESPN is definitely known to make mistakes. That is for sure.
But nevertheless, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Regular season is regular season basketball. The game slows down tremendously in the playoffs, and that's where I think the Spurs still gonna have to figure that out. Because they be having Wemby on the wing too much. Put that boy on the block. You gotta put him on the block, bro. He's 7'4", and he walked like a giraffe.
And they haven't even made the playoffs with him there yet, right? That's his other thing is health with him. I mean, there's something to be said about playoff experience.
Yeah.
So,
Nah, facts. Hey, who is y'all's NBA MVP?
I haven't watched enough to give you a name. So I'm gonna defer to you two on that one because I just have not watched enough NBA basketball to pick a guy.
There's a
yeah,
lot of guys out there.
yeah, there's a lot. Cunningham's on there, and Wimby might be on there. Shea's on there. I just, I'm going to go with the old standby, and I'm going to go with the Joker. I don't know how you can. That man is a walking triple double. Every game, I'm just going to go with the old has been standby. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was Cunningham from Detroit. But if I'm voting, I'm probably going the Joker.
Yeah. I think people gonna get voters fatigue with Joker, man. He averaged a triple double, and we just act like it's normal.
Right.
Like he should win it, but I do not think he's gonna win it. Uh I think K really deserves the MVP. When is the last time Detroit been good? Like they're here because of him. They're the one seed. Like we not talking about just no regular. They're the one seed, bro, and he's playing in Detroit, bro. And they ain't been good in 20-something years. Almost 20 years. So I think he deserves consideration. You could make an argument for a lot of people though. Shea is there, Luca is there. Luca's fighting for the scoring title right now. Wemby is right there for me. I don't know if he qualified with how amount games played, but then again, I think the best player in the NBA is Edwards. So I think the award should go to the best player for real. So I don't know, man. It's tricky. I hate to be a voter this year, because it's just too many ways you can go.
But I think Player of the Year, MVP, same type thing. You don't you have to take in consideration who they play for and where. I would look at it as where would they be without him?
That's how
Detroit
you
would
post it.
have the number one pick. Without Cade Cunningham, Detroit is terrible. I don't want to say terrible, but they're not what they are. That's for sure.
Now you can say terrible. I think they'd be in the top 14, and then I think they'd be a lottery pick.
I mean,
Yeah. Wow.
You go with Cunningham. But I just think that I still just think that people are going to give it to Joker over there. I don't know that he necessarily deserves it over somebody like a Cunningham. Does Luka qualify for it, or does he miss too many games?
They ain't missed that much time. They only missed like 7, 8 games this year, maybe 9.
That seemed like
he good.
Okay.
Yeah, he good.
So yeah, to me, you want to look at it that way, you've got to go Cunningham. You just have to. You got to go Cade. But I just don't think they're going to.
Yeah. Hey, y'all got anything else to add to the NBA before we move over?
Real quick,
Idea?
there was a thing that came out yesterday. I've got to do some more research on this, but this is something I'm going to look into. There's some battle going on between the Dallas Stars lawyers and the Dallas Mavericks.
Battle about what? Oh, you said you got to read into it.
Yeah, well, I know the Stars came out and said something. It's something to do with Dallas is looking for a new arena before the lease runs out in American Airlines, where them and the Stars both play. And the Stars lawyers came out and they were like, yeah, we've been in discussions with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, I don't know what I ain't getting no news. I don't know what that's
Well,
about.
it's on my Twitter feed because I follow both of them. But
Everything been getting weird ever since.
There's been speculation that these owners are going to move them to Vegas, but now there's talk of Vegas potentially getting an expansion team, so that would shut that down. But now the rumor is that if that happens and they get an expansion team, the owners of the Mavericks are going to sell and go be the owners of the Las Vegas team, which I'd be happy with because I hate this ownership team.
You know, I feel like everything been getting weird over there at the Mavericks organization ever since Mark Cuban sold his majority.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like he was one of the best owners in the NBA for real.
Players loved him. He gave them everything they wanted. Players loved to play for him, but he wanted to go do other things and sold the majority stake. And then he got Nico come in and started trading people off for a pile of dog food. You know, you trade probably the highest generational talent recently for a guy who's always disabled. I mean, I don't know. I expected him to trade Cooper Flag before he got fired. I'm glad they fired him, but I really thought they were going to trade the number 1 pick.
Man, they about to get AJ too. Watch. It's about to go crazy. Hey, let's switch over though to the NFL, man. We done seen in this past week some 2 monster trades. We had Trent McDuffie to the Rams and Max Crosby to the Ravens. Which trade do you guys think was more impactful?
Man, both of those things, man, are impactful, man. I'm looking at this thing like the Rams already knew. Listen, if we don't get a defense that can compete as well as Seattle's defense, we're in the same division with them, we're going to be in some serious trouble. Getting McDuffie was a really, 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 really good move. I think that's going to help them out a lot. I don't know what the Kansas City Chiefs was thinking about by letting McDuffie get out of there, but the Rams are sure happy about that. That's huge, and we all know that the Ravens' pass rush was dormant last year. They didn't have anybody that could get after the quarterback. They get Max Crosby, and I think that's going to help them out tremendously. Both of those teams got what they needed, but if I was to have to pick one, I would say the Rams getting McDuffie was probably the biggest because of the fact that they're in a division with the Seattle Seahawks, who we know their defense is unbelievable, and they got to be able to match serve with a good defense as well in order to be able to dethrone Seattle going into next year.
Yeah, both are you're right, super impactful. You went with McDuffie just so we can get some love elsewhere. I'll go Max. I was going Trent McDuffie. I really thought it was the most impactful. I think somebody like that helps the back end of your defense. Whereas, I mean, Crosby, yes, the Ravens needed help on the front line, but I mean, I feel like you could find some frontline, players to rush the quarterback to elsewhere. So, but Crosby is a freak talent, and in that division, you've got to deal with a Joe Burrow, who, if you can get after Joe, you can really take Cincinnati out. So I'm going to go Max Crosby just because, who pass rush is so important, especially just to get the quarterback off his marks. So I'll go Max. I'll say Max Crosby to me, just mainly because you took my Trent McDuffie. I shouldn't have let you go first on that one, but that's all right.
Man, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's really tough to pick for real because I think Max Crosby added so much more star power than on top of star power that Baltimore already got. I feel like Baltimore just need to go into this draft and find a reliable receiver, and their team is complete. Um, and then look, the Rams, they still got their 13th pick, so it's like, what if they get Caleb Downs, bro? Hey, they go to the Super Bowl. They get Downs, bro. I don't care what nobody say. In the reports and surface, I think Downs want to fall to the Rams. That's what's crazy. I think his agent dropped them reports about his knee. I don't even think there's nothing wrong with his knee. But yeah, it's tough for me. I had to go. I had to go McDuffie just because I know that 13th pick is sitting there. And that's the only reason though, because Max Crosby is a problem. I don't know if y'all seen the video, but Joe Burrow was not happy. He was not happy. And he worried for real.
As a Bengals fan, I wasn't happy either.
Him and Jamar Chase though, both was just like, bro, they let off a cut storm. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, give me McDuffie over there in Baltimore, and I'll let Chase go against him. I'm fine with that. Go, but Crosby, oh come on, man.
Well, the Bengals better shore up that offensive line. Then I mean, the rest of the division is letting them know. Listen, we got somebody coming after your star quarterback, so you better get somebody on this line that can block them.
Nah,
yeah,
facts.
I mean, you got Max Crosby and Myles Garrett in the same division. This is not
and Watt
for Joe Burrow, huh? Oh yeah, well, yeah, TJ Watt too. Cincinnati better do something. Cincinnati might just want to go to like 12 personnel the whole game.
Just we'll see, man. It's gonna be fun to watch. I know that.
Yeah. Well, hey. I hope.
Yeah, well, y'all know we creeping up on that hour mark, man. I got one more for y'all for real. Is there any noise coming out of y'all's college football programs that y'all want to talk about? Anything y'all been hearing? Who's been looking good thus far? Y'all hearing noise about any workouts? Anything?
I've had a few A&M things pop up. A few of the transfers, the kid from, what was it, Northwestern, Anto Saka or whatever, and a few others of the defensive transfers, more is what I've heard, have come in and just started calling the young kids in and telling them, now we got to work. They're taking a leadership role and they're brand new there. So I'm kind of excited about that. They seem to be, they're bought in obviously to the system or they wouldn't have transferred there. So I like what I'm hearing with the young kids coming in and, the new kids coming in and taking some kids that are there but are younger and telling them, let's get to work. Let's start building chemistry on the defensive side. Because I think we can all agree, if you look at A&M last year, besides Reed's turnovers late in the season, the defense were stopping the run was the big problem. And these guys, I have heard about that. The kid from Tulsa, the linebacker, and they're like, no, we're going to fix this. And I believe they start spring ball next week. I'll have to look up the start date for it. I mean, that's what I think it's next Monday or tomorrow, actually. I'll have to look up the start date.
Yeah, coming out of Texas, man, the great thing about this year's team is the fact that we won't have to institute so many offensive linemen. Trevor Goolsby is going to be out for maybe all of the spring, which allows us to work another guy in there because we already know what we got out of Trevor Goolsby. To be able to get another guy that can work right there and get all those first team reps, to have a guy that if somebody goes down that can come in and fill in is going to be great. And the fact that Archman is going to be out some of spring as well really allows what's the backup quarterback's name? Dang, his name slipped my mind that quick. But anyway, the backup quarterback will be getting those first team reps, which can really help him get up to speed in case we had some games where we had some blowouts, and he can get out there and do his thing. I'm really excited about the fact that we have a really nice two-headed monster in the running back room. That where we're really good at is outside zone. Both of these guys are really good outside zone running backs. And the year before, when we had Jaden Blue, catching the ball out the backfield was a premium for Steve Sarkisian in that offense. So we're going to have that reinstituted again. And we got a really, really good inline tight end that we got out of Michigan State that's going to really help us with the run game as well. I'm excited about what Texas is going to look like. They did really, really well in the portal, defensively, offensively, and I think we're going to be in for a really, really good treat. The thing that scares me, though, is the fact that schedule that we have, and we got 9 straight, I think it might be 9 straight games, 8 or 9 straight games where we don't get no break, and I don't like the way that feels. But outside of that, I think Texas is destined to have a really, really good season this season.
Y'all heard him, people. He's scared of September 12th. Y'all heard him. He said he's afraid of that schedule in September 12th.
Well, listen. Last year, that might be what cost us. We probably shouldn't have played that game. We probably should have scheduled Mount Vernon University.
Man, y'all are the Texas University, bro. No. Play everybody. Play anybody.
Play everybody. That's right.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
but
it is 8 straight games, by the way. You go 8 straight.
Yeah.
You go for 4, then a bye, and then you just play.
Yeah, they're gonna have to manage some of them guys in some of them games that they feel like they're gonna win easily. Though, is there any easy games in that 8?
Oh yeah, there are.
Yeah, I think they have one.
Yeah,
a lot of the SEC schools still have that one kind of week, but there's just no like. Some of them have it all at the beginning of the season, and I can't get to their schedule right now. But some have that one mixed in. I think like A&M only plays 2 at the beginning of the season. I think Texas does too. I think y'all have a weaker game in the middle down there in that 8-game stretch because I think y'all have Ohio State, whereas we have Arizona State in the first like 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
So. I'd have to go look, but I think y'all have a game in the middle of the season that's kind of a weaker. I could be wrong. It could be 8 straight SEC for y'all.
Well, we only got 4 road games, so that's what's so spectacular about the fact that we got that 8-game stretch. We only got 4. We only got 4 road games.
Yeah. Y'all only leave the state of Texas 3 times.
Yeah.
It don't matter. They can lose in Texas. Are y'all good at rotating?
What do you mean?
Like in games, like do y'all rotate? Like offensive line, receivers?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For wide receiver, the only way you getting on that field is if you get in that circle of trust. And we think that we got 2 receivers who probably won't be starting that can get in that rotation. So I think that's going to happen for Texas. In terms of the offensive line, they got a lot of experienced guys coming from the portal that's really going to help Texas out. They're going to move Brandon Baker into right guard, and the tackle that they got in the portal is going to play right tackle. And if this guy gets his eligibility, that's who they're going to plug in at left guard. So they got some players on their roster that's played a lot of football that are really going to gel in there. I'm just anxious to see what Will Muschamp is going to be able to do with all the gifts that he got on that defensive side of the ball. So you're probably going to see a totally different Texas style of play. Defensively, you won't see that bend, don't break style of play where inside the 20s, you give up a bunch of yards and then you just buckle down once teams get towards your red zone. You won't see our defensive backs playing off on 3rd and 6 playing off 10 yards. You're not going to see that with this Will Muschamp defense. You're going to see a lot more man-to-man, and the players that we have at the defensive back position are more man-to-man coverage guys. So you're going to see Texas really be a lot more multiple defensively than what you saw up under PK.
Yeah, I was asking you that because we don't rotate at all, and I'm about sick of it.
Yeah.
The only noise I got for real, both of my running backs is going to be out for spring. Bo Jackson, Isaiah West, some of our top two guys, but that's actually a good thing in disguise for me. Maybe we can find a third or fourth guy in that room. See what Legend Bay got or something, figure out how to use him. And they thinking that this receiver room is going to be better than last year. We're going to see about that, man. The jury's out. And that's it, man. That's all I got, man. I'm just waiting for football, college football, to really get into the thick of things because we've been abandoning my baby. That's my baby. College football is my baby, and we've been abandoning it. So I thought I'd throw a college football question out here. You feel me?
Oh, yeah, for sure. His name is KJ Lacey. That's who's going to be getting the first team reps for Texas while Arch Manning is in that boot for his foot, ankle, whatever that is down there.
I need Arch to come back, man. I was really encouraged with what I seen at the end of last year. I need him to keep on working.
Yeah.
He didn't look like he was in a boot last night at the Texas basketball game.
Well, he probably didn't wear it to that game.
He looked like he was in some cowboy boots.
Boot for his foot. Yeah.
And why you blowing up his spot, Sean?
Because I got to. He's in mourning today after that loss to Oklahoma.
Yeah, can't win them all. Every now and then, you got to let your rival get a win in so that they can still feel like they got something to live for.
Jeez. All right, man. Y'all got anything else to
add? Blue Jackets lost a heartbreaker last night for the hockey fans. Lost 5-4 in a shootout. Really not much else. Ready for these college basketball tournaments to crank off. How weird is it to see Kentucky having to play in the first round of the SEC tournament and not get even one bye?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I don't know who y'all play in the first round, Robert, but I know we get a bye, and then we take on the winner of Oklahoma, South Carolina in the second round. But I don't know who y'all match up with right now. I want to say y'all match up with LSU or somebody like that. So, really, all I got going. Of course, got my NASCAR race today, but other than that, not much.
Yeah, my Buckeyes, we got the AC in our tournament.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the bracket. It's out, but I haven't looked to see. I know who we play, but I haven't looked to see who Texas has in the first round yet.
It don't matter. We busted them up.
Stop it.
Yeah, okay. We'll see how that happens. Yeah, so we'll just have to see how it plays out. Like I said, I think y'all got the 10 seed or something. Let me see who y'all got. Oh, y'all play Ole Miss.
Oh, the former coach.
Yep, you play Ole Miss in the first round.
Yeah, bust up.
And then you should get, I think you get Vanderbilt after that. Or, no, maybe Georgia. So I have to go look at the bracket. Going to be an interesting week. Men's college tournaments are always crazy.
Moss said, good morning, homies. Preparing for the new job and work day. It sound like you had time to come up here, bruh. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Yep, right. I'm calling you out for that. Sound like you had time to come up here because you ain't at work yet. Yeah. I'm the guy. Hey, y'all, I'm the guy. I hold everybody accountable.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Let me end it with a story real quick.
Hold on, real quick, Sean. I gotta give a shout out to my guy Bruce Storer, man. He definitely broke that record last night. You know what I'm saying? He's the all-time leading scorer in Ohio State history. You know what I'm saying? So we got to show him love. And that's all I got. Go ahead.
Of course.
Oh, and
I meant to ask you about
my nephew and them. They won districts last night
did
too.
they?
So shout out to them too. Yeah.
That was really good. I meant to ask you about if he broke it or not. I kind of assumed he did when you said he only needed 12 points. But we normally start off Sunday show with story time, but we're going to end it today. We're going to switch it up to make y'all watch through the whole show from now on. So I got a buddy of mine, wasn't a real religious guy growing up, but he married a girl who was. And one day his daughter came up to him and he said, "Dad, where do people come from?" And he went through the whole, went through the whole evolution thing, the apes and all this, and moved on. Oh, okay. So she went and she asked her mom, "Hey, Mom, where do people come from?" And she said, "Well, you see, back in the day, God had Adam and Eve and went through that." And she's like, "Well, Dad said we came from apes." And she said, "Oh, honey, he was telling you about his side of the family. I'm telling you about mine."
Oh man.
Oh man. That's too fun. Too fun.
Hey, he from the best side. You ever seen Planet of the Apes?
Right.
I think y'all want that war.
You want here's a little breaking news for anybody that might be listening and tuned in. Anybody that uses Spotify. I actually have figured out a way to put our podcast on Spotify now.
Man, thank God, because I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Okay.
You have to go. It's kind of crazy. You got to go through another site to get it on there. So I did, and I actually have 2 podcasts going on there right now. One is WTP Sports Dudes, is what you need to search for. So we can start.
You got to send the links. You got to send the links to all that.
I got to figure out how to. But no, I mean, if you go search it, you can find it, because I was searching it last night and found it. If you just type in WTP, then space, WTP space, sports space dudes, it pops up right there. But I'll try to start working the links in. But it is on there. I did get it on there. So I got that one running, and I got a NASCAR Talk podcast over there I'm running too. So, but yeah, I've got it on Spotify for us now.
Cool.
So we definitely want to be sure we're mentioning the if they listen to it on Spotify, they know where to come find us. Which we're on YouTube, all of us. So.
All right, man. Y'all ain't got nothing else?
Nope.
Right on the 110 mark. All right, man. Thank you for everybody. You said what?
We had a good game last night between A&M and LSU. I didn't get 3 overtime game. That was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, you could have brought it up when we was in the college world, you know.
We're good.
Right.
Wasn't nothing to talk about. I didn't want to hurt Rob's feelings even more.
He need his feelings hurt, bro. Hey, but y'all know what it is, man. This is the WTP Sports Dudes, man. I got Rob to my right, SEC Sean down at the bottom. Everybody's channels is scrolling at the bottom, man. It don't cost you a thing to hit subscribe. Turn that notification bell on if you do want daily content sent straight to your phone or your tablet or your TV or whatever you watch our podcast on. That's Talking Sports Sunday for y'all, man. We about to get up out of here. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add?
Nope, we out.
All right, we out. Peace.